I'm here right now with Sneaky from Cloud9. Sneaky, what's going on? How are things on Cloud9? Give me the update.
Things pretty good. Obviously, we moved to just smoothie support. It's been going pretty well. I don't know if it's specifically like a better method, but I guess it's easier to hone in on mistakes because it's just like one guy making mistakes, and it's not like two separate people making different mistakes all the time. So in that aspect, I think it's probably better. But yeah, we're pretty good overall as a team so far.
Yeah, I saw or I heard that it was based on kind of what the coaches wanted. Were you consulted at all before that change, or was it just sort of something where they came in, they're like, "We're doing this," and you're like, "Okay."
Um, it was they asked me my opinion, and I said I still think it's 50-50. So I basically said keeping the split's fine. And then they really wanted to go with just one guy, so maybe other people were more opinionated, but I was 50-50 for sure.
Did you? But it sounds like you didn't have a strong stance either way. It was kind of whatever they decided.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so for you, how do you feel as though you're getting more comfortable now that you're dedicated to one support?
Well, it hasn't been that long since we switched to just one. It's like 2 weeks now, so it's not like I'm extremely comfortable or anything. But it's not like I was uncomfortable with playing Smoothie slash Bunny, anyways. So yeah, nothing's really changed too much. Maybe a little bit farther down the line, it'll be maybe a bit more comfortable. Not entirely sure.
Now, you have 3 more games for the end of the split, all of them against relatively easier opponents. Sorry, 3 more matches.
Oh yeah. Wait, is there only one more week after this?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Damn. Okay.
Did you think you had more?
I thought there was 3 weeks left after this.
Really? Well, there's playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember.
Okay. Did you think this was an 11-week split?
I didn't really care. I was just playing games.
Okay. So is that? Let's talk a little bit about this because I find that most pro players do not know who they're facing next. What else is happening in the split? Is it just sort of like you guys are just only ever focused on the next game, or what? Why do you guys never have any idea what's going on around you?
I mean, we just play the game, and then the opponent shows up. We're like, oh, it's these guys today, huh?
Yeah.
No, I mean, you don't have to think about it too much because you're just playing out the split, and then you just care about what you're doing
Right.
more so than how everyone else is doing.
Sure. Well, now that you've discovered that you only have 3 more matches this split, how do you think your chances are for final standings and headed into the playoffs?
Well, I think we're pretty much guaranteed playoffs. We're really close. I guess some tragic stuff could happen
Right.
to Actually, I'm not entirely sure.
I'm pretty sure you guys have it secured.
Yeah, because I think we break the tiebreaker with Apex, and they're the only one who could kick us out. So yeah, I think we're okay. So yeah, playoffs should be really interesting. As long as we keep up the practice, I think practice went really well this week. We did, I'd say, pretty good, like more than better or better than usual. This past week.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure why, but we did pretty good, and hopefully if we can keep that up, then playoffs should be pretty good for us.
Yeah, I was kind of casually chatting with Jack before this, and he was saying that you guys have had or exiting Korea, you looked really in strong form, and then there was just kind of a weird thing where like certain people were sick, and there was just kind of a series of misadventures that led you guys to playing, maybe a little bit below your bar. Do you feel like that's correct? Do you feel like you guys have sort of resumed that Korea level of playing?
Well, there were a bit of changes. Like in Korea, there is like Maokai Echo Top, which are extremely popular, and then a lot of the rest of the champions were kind of up in the air. Besides like Azir, so then we had basically figured out, and then top lane changed, so it wasn't just Maokai Echo. They basically got kicked out of the game, so we're kind of lost in that aspect. And those two champions were like extremely tanky, had a lot of initiation, so I think that screwed with us a bit. And then maybe like some random jet lag, and um, maybe the scrims were just less serious overall because when we were in Korea, we're trying to build respect, make sure we're playing our best for every single team. We're playing like who we play. We played like Longzhu right before they played Afrika, and like I think we like beat them really hard in scrims, and they came into the LCK and started doing really well. So that like felt really good for us, and then we came back and we're playing. I don't remember who we played, but we played some mini teams, and maybe we just didn't respect them enough, and our practice like degraded, and our play degraded because of that. I'm not entirely sure. I'm just
Speculating.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. And that's fine. That's fine. That's all I need you to do in this interview. The more the merrier. Now, we obviously have heard a lot of reports around this sort of 2v1 summit conference pro player discussion with Riot. First off, were you there?
No, not attending.
So
Or
what?
did it already happen or?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I didn't
My
go.
understanding is it already happened.
Yeah, I didn't go.
You were not. So you were not invited.
I mean, I think it was it like one person from each team. I don't know.
Do you know who went? Was there a conversation that occurred at all about
Yeah,
this?
it's in Skype chat or something.
Okay.
I don't know.
So you have no details for this subject for me at all.
Not about it.
Okay.
Nope.
Do you have any opinion on the 2v1 situation?
I'm usually under the opinion that changes are never really going to be bad. I think I heard something about. I heard something about what happened there. It was like the people were saying the cannon minions were really weird changes, like they didn't want them to happen,
Yeah.
and then the turret thing was whatever. Because I don't know exact reasonings behind it, but I think the cannon changes are interesting and not necessarily a bad thing. Although it does create really weird situations where like the bot lane gets the cannon first, so they'll be a bit of ahead in XP, and then that means like mid lane might get their level a little bit slower, and the top lane obviously they get the cannon last. So overall, there's like less cannons in the early game for mid and top, which is interesting. I don't know if it's bad though. It would create a lot different game because a lot of the pushes you can set up with just cannon minions and siege down turrets hard at that point in the game with like formatting, diving and stuff. But if there's no cannons, and it'll be really hard to keep your wave alive. So I don't know if it's going through, but they are really interesting changes. And I don't think they're necessarily bad, just like game changing for sure.
Sure. Do you think the timing of it is poor at all, right before playoffs?
I mean, it sucks, but it's just how it is as a player. Like you gotta keep adapting for sure.
You seem to be a man who doesn't have strong opinions about anything. You say you're fine with the 50-50 support situation. They take them away, and you're like, yeah, that's fine. Everybody else is raging about these 2v1 changes. You're like, yeah, that's fine. Is there anything that angers you?
Getting 5-man bot lane.
That's fair. Is there anything that you would like to say to any of the Cloud9 fans out there?
Thanks for watching.
Well, there we go. So I thank you for the interview, Sneaky. That's really appreciated. Normally people have something more to say, but I appreciate that you did this interview, and I'm happy that they watched as well.
Dump down my throat.
Check out the rest of our coverage of all things esports here at Yahoo Esports.